Good morning, Mr. White.
Good morning, Mrs. Angel. How good is it to be back in the chair?
It's glorious. It's season
good.
6. Season 6.
Season 6.
Unbelievable.
They said we wouldn't last 5. That's amazing. Season 6.
I want to know who they are.
Yes, me too.
It's good to be back. Is it good for you to be back?
It's great to be back. Yes, very much happy to be back. Looking forward to, because we had a staff day today, looking forward to the students getting back tomorrow and rock and rolling with them a bit. A few fun games, a few fun catch-ups, that sort of thing. What about you?
Yeah, we were back today, back this week, and it was wonderful to see all of the little faces again. We welcomed a new class to our school, so we've grown just a little bit.
Just kicking goals left, right and centre.
30 new little faces coming in today, and I feel like the best part today was our old students who had been there from last term and beyond, just how much they welcomed the new students into the school. And it was fabulous to catch up with all of the newbies at the end of the day, and they all saying that they had a great day and looking forward to being back the next day, which is fabulous, keeping in mind that we're a school for kids who haven't had a whole lot of fun in school necessarily beforehand. So, and we don't do any fun getting to know you stuff. We just get straight into the learning. So also with that in mind, it's pretty good that kids who haven't had a whole lot of fun in education had a great day with being in the middle of their classes right from the start.
Yep, and amazing that the older students welcome them with such open arms and building that idea of community. Building that community is a big part of building that safe space that is required to learn effectively. So well done you, kicking more goals than Jeremy Cameron at the moment. That's an AFL gag there for you. I'm pretty happy with how the Cats are travelling at the moment. There we go. It took me 2 minutes to mention that.
Well done. The Broncos are also having a pretty good season as well. If we're talking football, they're probably not quite as good as the Cats, if we're being honest. But
who is?
Yep, you're right. And you did say last year that the Cats had that 1 year off, and then they were going to be heading straight back into the finals, didn't you?
Yes. Well, early days at the moment, but. I've been pretty happy watching them so far and undefeated at the moment, along with GWS. So, we'll see how we go. We've got Brisbane this week, actually. That's going to be a interesting game. Excellent.
Probably not actually as interesting as you might think.
Well,
based on how we've been going. So you went overseas. You did. In your preparation and relaxation time, you headed OS. Where'd you go?
I did. I went to Bali. I'd never been to Bali before, so this was a new experience for me. It was great. It was wonderful. It was so much fun. The people over there are absolutely beautiful, lovely, welcoming, accommodating, wanting to help all the time. The food was incredible. And just
what was the best thing you ate?
Chicken satay. I mean, it's Bali. And look, I'm a big fan of that. Of nasi goreng, my mee goreng as well. Mm-hmm. All really good fun. It was great. It's just good to be out of the country and just, see things done differently and just different smells, different sights, different everything. The weather was incredibly humid and all that sort of stuff. But, hey, we're on holiday and we had access to a pool and a beach and things aren't that bad,
No. And it was great for your kids, to go overseas. And
so much fun. We're very lucky. There were about, 19 of us. So all my in-laws headed over and a bunch of cousins of similar ages and just having fun with each other. It was great. It was really good fun. And, I definitely made the most of my rejuvenation and didn't make the most of my preparation time, must be said. In fact, we could talk a bit more about that a bit later. How about you? What did you get up to over the holidays?
Well, I spent the first week doing the doctor, the dentist, getting every orifice checked, and not every orifice, many orifices checked, and tweaked, and then had state basketball championships with my son, and And that was great. The team did very well. They competed very well, but it was also good for that to finish. And because
yes, I bet. It's quite a commitment. It is quite a commitment.
Gosh.
Because you've got club and you've got rep and all sorts of different things.
Yeah, 3 nights a week of rep, 1 night a week of club on a Friday night, rep all weekend. So it's lovely to actually have a lot of that time back.
Yes.
And then my husband and I ditched our sweet little child with grandma, and we headed to Burleigh Heads on the beautiful Gold Coast, and ate our way around Burleigh, which is a very well known little food mecca.
Yep.
And had some delicious little morsels. It was pretty amazing. Jimmy Waz was a fantastic meal, and we got into rickshaws and had a delicious meal there. Some oysters, and they were battered oysters with these delicious little sauces and just little tasty. It was very, very good. Wouldn't have it any other way, but then wouldn't have coming back any other way either. So, I'm pretty pleased with the amount of relaxation and the amount of preparation time that I did. I'm feeling pretty chuffed with myself right now that there was plenty of time sitting on a bed in my PJs, drinking a coffee and just smashing out some work, and plenty of time laying on a beach, and plenty of time eating delicious things as well. I started running again too, actually.
Awesome.
Yep. There's a plan to go to do the Great Keppel Island Trail Run.
I love that.
Which will be a 14-kilometre trail run, and my son and I will do that. My wacko husband will do the 27 or 29-kilometre one.
So the foot is on the mend. That's good.
The foot is on the mend. I did add a little bit of a knee injury to that in the starting back of running, but apparently at my age, everything just starts falling apart. So I'll see if I can keep everything taped together to try to get that done. But I think it's good. It's good to have, pay the entry fee, lock it in, and now I've just got to make it happen, which is good.
That's good. Yeah. Yes, commit to it and then worry about the details afterwards.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
I like that.
So stay tuned. I will keep you up to date. I'll obviously be sharing lots of my woes. I'm sure all of the other injuries that are going to happen
it's pretty cool,
over the next 10 weeks.
That sort of run. So that run is a trail run. So you're not running on flat surface, are you? And you're not even running on asphalt half the time.
No, there's no asphalt. It'll all be little dirt tracks, or unfortunately at Great Keppel Island, as the name kind of gives it away, there's going to be quite a bit of soft sand, which...
Really good for your foot. Fantastic. Oh, great.
Fabulous. It's only 14 Ks. It's okay.
14.
Yeah, it'll happen without too much difficulties. Anyway, I'm certain you've got a wisecrack, so tear up and give them to us.
Let's do it.
Whitey's Weekly Wisecracks. What do you got, Mr. White?
Oh, how I've missed that. Yes, so a couple of students, very, very proactive and very generous, have been organising to raise money for MS. And they came to me and said, Mr. White, are you going to help us raise money for MS? And I said, absolutely. I don't think it's fair that a woman's title should betray her marital status. Yes. And it went over their heads too, but I still gave generously because it's a worthy cause.
I don't think he gets it. I don't think he really knows what MS is. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Sclerosis, I do know, but yeah, that's a bit of fun. It's always fun responding in a way that a student just doesn't get, and it's shoo, straight over their head, and they look that blank look.
Yeah. I love it. I've got a story to tell you. I've been sitting on this one for a little bit, and have been dying to tell you, actually. So,
Teaching tales. Dun, dun, dun.
So we had to get to the bottom of it. That's why I hadn't been able to tell you. So what had happened, right, is we have installed a camera, and the camera really came into it earned its money. So we have a whole lot of Lego at school, and it was disappearing. Just gradually, there were certain pieces that were quite sought after that the kids really liked to do to make particular masterpieces, and just slowly our Lego supplies were just depleting. And so we had to look into it. So how do you look into it? Well, we looked to the cameras, and the cameras told us a very, very interesting story. So there was a young boy.
Don't lie. Here we go.
Cameras don't lie. So there was a young boy, and he was taking the Lego. And he would just, every time he walked past, when in his transitions, we've got our kind of arts and craft and game supply, like in one of the hallways, and he would just nip his little hand in there and just take out a couple of pieces, and then he was popping them in his pockets or in his pencil case. And so he had been sprung, and so I was tasked with the opportunity to talk to him about what was going on and why he was doing this. So yeah. So I called him in, and I was like, I'm going to call him. Let's call him Johnny for a change. Johnny. He had his, and we could see that he was often putting it into the pencil case. We give all of our students a pencil case. And I said to him, gave him a chance first to tell the truth. Johnny, we've had some Lego disappearing. Do you know anything about this? Mm-mm. Have a good think about it. Do you know anything about Lego going missing? No, apparently doesn't. Awesome. No worries at all. Can you just open up your pencil case, and can you just empty the contents onto my desk? And so out it comes, and he kind of only half empties it, and then tingle, all of this Lego falls out. And then we just look at the Lego, and then we look at each other. We look at the Lego, and then I said, "Is that all of the Lego that you've got?" He's like, yeah. Like, all right, can you just empty your pockets? And so then he's like, oh, okay. So he puts his hand in his pocket and pulls out one, and then just like puts one piece there. I was like, oh, damn. So he's like, so in the end, I had a little mound of Lego. Like, I don't know, like he didn't even look like he had in his pockets, but anyway, we got, just, I don't know. He said, and then he reckons he just got into a habit of, that every time he walked down the aisle, he had to take a piece of Lego. Anyway, so we've made different agreements now. And I've just also pointed out the camera to him so that he now knows that we can see you. So you just need to stop this. All right. To be fair, I didn't see every piece that he took. So yeah, there you go. It was an enjoyable.
He's such a good sleuth. That's fantastic.
Yeah. But the most fun thing actually is Jonathan, my office manager, was the person who actually found this out for us. And so he was all over it, and he went to the cameras, and he was the one who really uncovered it. So what we've actually been doing with Jonathan is we all keep on sneaking past and looking at the cameras and waving at him and taking Lego. So we're still waiting for Jonathan to discover that we've been taking the Lego as well. It's just great. Hi, Jonathan, if you're listening. And if you're not listening, Jonathan, you should be listening. So
should be.
Yeah.
How are those coffees coming? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say that he was taking the Lego in order to build a defence.
No.
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 Steals Lego. Look, maybe he's a Lego fair and he's been depositing little bits of Lego on lounge rooms all around Australia so that barefooted parents can step on them in the middle of the night.
And feel like they're broken inside.
Oh,
yes.
my goodness.
Exactly.
Goes straight through you, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm not sad that time of my life is over and there's no longer little pieces of Lego. I mean, there is bags left. Oh, my gosh. I wouldn't go back and do it for $1 million. You couldn't pay me.
No.
All right. So you alluded to this before.
Yes.
I shared a little article with you written by Amy Green during the holidays, just to kind of provoke you a little bit. And I thought we could talk about it today. So Amy, who's redesigning workplaces to function well, I found her article on LinkedIn, and she talks about we need to talk about school holidays. We know that there's an ever-increasing workload issue for educators and time being a barrier to working well. This is undeniably contributing to the teacher shortage. Yet, I think there is something we can utilise to help with this. School holidays, or what I refer to as term breaks, non-teaching time, are perhaps an area that need to be reviewed and reassessed. Right now, educators across the country are on or will be very soon on holidays, yet many educators during this time will be working and some won't. So she goes on to talk about that the breaks are grey and loose and there's no specific system or nationwide approaches for what is expected to be done in this time. And she gives some suggestions around things that should be being done in the holidays and kind of puts it out there that at the moment there's a lot of autonomy and questions whether or not there should be autonomy in teacher holidays or if there should be put a lot more structure around them and teachers should be told what to do in their holidays. What's your opinion on this, Mr. White?
Well, I don't like it. I think that all teachers are different and I think all classes are different. And if you work your ass off during term time, then you deserve some time to decompress. The vast majority of teachers you speak to will tell you that in the first week of term holiday, at the end of the term, that week consists of winding down and getting sick. Usually that's what's happened because you've been fighting against it for the previous 11, 12 weeks. And now that you've finally got to the point where you feel you can relax and let your guard down a bit, all these little germs that you've been exposed to over the last couple of months find a way into your immune system and wreak havoc. Not to mention, I don't think I know any teachers that take time off or a morning off here and there to go to the dentist or go to the doctor or go to the physio or get their car serviced or all the other things that all these teachers use their term breaks in order to do, so that they can rock up during term time to be functioning as best they possibly can in order to be the consistent, friendly educators that they are.
Present, yes.
Be present. That's the term. And I was particularly disappointed by this paragraph here. This is, and I'll quote Amy Green, term breaks, non-teaching time, should be used for planning, assessing, report writing, meeting in teams and getting ready for the term ahead. Yet without clear guidelines and consistent expectations, many educators are left to their own devices. That sounds to me like someone who doesn't trust the teachers. It sounds to me like someone who thinks that teachers are having a really good time and they're just taking the system and taking the mickey out of the system and just going on their holidays. No, that's what we do during time. That's what we do after hours during term time. And this is why we need time at the end of the term in order to recuperate, rejuvenate, and, as you said, be present during term time. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing some work over term break. Of course. I do it all the time. You get some work done. If you feel towards the end of the term, the last couple of weeks of term are hard. They're really hard. There's often assessment to be done in those weeks. Sometimes you don't get to mark all of that assessment because you're knackered. You don't have anything left to give. And so you take a week to rejuvenate, get sick, get better again, go to the doctor, go to the dentist, and then maybe in the last Wednesday, Thursday of the second week of holidays, you might find time to do some marking, and that's great. That's fine if that works for you. I think part of the problem here is there seems to be an expectation that society wants teachers to be society wants teachers to be employees when it suits and then contractors when it suits. And I don't think that's fair. What do you think?
I think that you've hit the nail on the head. There's so much that I can agree with there. We've talked about holidays, not calling holidays because rarely are they. It's not a holiday. It's not a full holiday. It is time to recharge, and it is also time to look ahead. The idea here that we should be putting more boundaries around teachers and mandating anything in the holidays, I think is dangerous territory in a profession that is as equally hard as what it is rewarding. And those holidays, and that we have no freedom during the school term. It is structure. It is it is clarity, it is predictability for our kids, and it's about constantly being present for our students. The holidays are there where we shouldn't have to be present. We can do. I strongly believe in working during the holidays, not the whole holidays. In only when you want to, under your conditions, to get the work done that you need to get done, to set yourself up for a really healthy and achievable next term, or to tie off the loose ends from the previous term and set yourself up for success in the next term. I have certainly not always gotten it right. I've definitely taken, throughout my career, here or there, taken the whole time where I haven't opened a laptop. And I haven't done any work. What I know is, for me, that didn't work. In the moment, in that glorious 2 weeks, it worked. But the next term was an absolute disaster because I couldn't get the work done in that amount of time. There wasn't enough hours to get that work done. So the preloading of the thinking with a fresh brain to do the pre-thinking about the planning, that really worked for me. But I feel like everybody works out what works for you best, and it's got to be, this is one of the enticing parts of an incredibly difficult but incredibly rewarding profession. And I don't think that it needs the structure that Amy Green is kind of alluding to here. I definitely would encourage teachers who, and I think it's a smaller amount of people who dig their heels in and say, these are my holidays, I'm not doing anything. I don't think I've met a teacher actually who's ever said that or felt that way. I certainly don't mix with those people. People, we know the enormity of the job, what we need to do, and it's about managing your time to be able to get that done.
Like in any profession, there are people who are more switched on and giving than there are others. But I dare you, I double dare you to come up with a profession that has more people willing to give of their time and their energy than teachers. I remember early in my career that I would work. I think my first holidays I worked straight through because I was trying to catch up and trying to get on top of everything. And for me, that was good because I learned a lot. But I was horrible the next term. I just hadn't had a break, and because it's like because I thought no, I've got to learn this stuff. I've got to get into it. What I was actually doing was making it more difficult for me to learn because I was knackered. I was exhausted. I was way too close to everything.
In exactly the same way as those couple of holidays that I had where I downed tools and did no work, it's equally as destructive to work straight through.
Yes.
So
yes. There's a happy medium. There is definitely a happy medium, and you get the more you teach, the more you find what that is. I must admit, I'm a bit angry with Term 1 Whitey. Term 1 Whitey didn't do as much preparation and as much marking as he could have done at the end of last term. But Term 2 Whitey is also pretty sympathetic because he knows that Term 1 Whitey at the end of last term was absolutely knackered. There was stuff going on in all sorts of areas, and I didn't get everything done that I would have liked.
Yeah.
And I needed a break. And as you said, I went overseas. I had a few days either side where I could have done a bit more. I checked emails. I ticked a few boxes. I did that sort of stuff. And I've got a big week of marking ahead of me, and that's okay. I'm experienced enough to be able to deal
and you
with
make your peace with that.
That's my call. Yeah, that's my call. I would hate it to have been forced to work a couple of days in a team.
And be dictated which day, which you had to be there and at what time. No. And I think that there's kind of mentoring and coaching work because I made more of my mistakes when I was a younger teacher with either doing too much work in the holidays or not enough. So I think there's always mentoring work that we can do with our younger teachers about what can be put off and caught up, and what's the stuff that absolutely needs to be done now. And we can do that mentoring and coaching. But in the end, each individual person works out the balance. And like you said, you knew you best and that you were utterly exhausted and you needed to refill your basket in the holidays.
Yep. Absolutely right. And anyone who's trying to tell us otherwise doesn't understand, I would argue, doesn't understand the profession well enough to know that the people within it need to be rested. They need to be fresh. They need to be going, because you can't greet a class in the morning like you're rocking up to, an accountant or something can rock up at 9 o'clock, 10 past, 20 past 9, and just walk in with a cup of coffee and a slight hangover or whatever, and just go, we can't do that.
No.
You've got to be on.
No.
You've got to be on from 8:20 or whenever the thing is, and you stay on until 3:30, and then you've got your marking, you've got your meetings, you've got all the other things.
Yes, all the collegial work that you need to do with your colleagues. Exactly.
Which is valuable and it's important. But the most important thing is the consistency and our positivity that we can model for our students.
Yeah. And you got to be able to bring that every day. And the more days that you can bring that without having to fake it to make it is always going to be better for the kids as well. So the more that we can be rested and recharged and ready to go. So it's equally as important to rest and recharge as it is to do that preparation work. And there's going to be you're going to balance those scales based off whatever you need at any given time.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Amy, for pushing our buttons a little bit there and letting us letting us have that out after our most recent holiday break. And we are super excited. We've got lots of really cool people that we're interviewing throughout this season, quite a few international guests. So stay tuned. And obviously, if you want to reach out to us on the socials and send us through any wisecracks, magical moments, or teaching tales, we always want to hear from you. You can do that on the socials or on our email address, which is...
It's an address in which you send emails, and that is teacherschangelivespodcast@gmail.com.
You are all over it, my friend. All right, looking forward to doing another season with you. Have a great day with the kids tomorrow, and see you next week.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Mrs. Angel. Thank you, everyone.